council meeting. I wanted to thank all the folks who were involved in the tour of Houston. It has become a signature ride for the city of Houston. We were all very self-congratulatory up here for those who completed their ride, but it's just a fun way for people who are passionate about riding bicycles to get out to the city. For those who are in training, it's a good training ride. I again want to offer condolences to the family of the rider who apparently had a cardiac incident on the ride and died. And to say that I hope they find some comfort in the fact that he was doing something that he apparently loved. I also want to my best wishes to our officer who was shot on Sunday night, and how glad I am that he is doing well. But I actually have a good news item I want to share. We've been working really hard over the last couple of years on improving the look and feel of the city's website, but also the information that's on the city's website. And we have put more and more of our daily activities on the web, but we're also not just agenda items and so forth. We're trying to put more good information, not just data, but information that citizens can use and to make what we do much more transparent. And in that light, Houston is among the winners of the 4th annual Sunny Awards issued by Sunshine Review, a national nonprofit organization dedicated to government transparency. The award, which honors the most transparent government websites in the nation, went to only 22 cities nationwide, including the city of Houston. We're honored to receive the Sunny Award. We hope that we continue to improve from what's already an A grade, that we continue to help lead the pack in that effort. And then, what do you guys want to say?
Mayor, can you describe the feeling that you had when you was in New York with Bloomberg getting that award and bringing home $5 million?
Wait, no, we only got one night. I was there with my fellow mayors. Actually, I was already in New York to attend a series of meetings, and so it was easy for me to take part in the public presentation. We were challenged by the Bloomberg Foundation, the cities who chose to participate, and there were many, many cities who submitted, to not do what we're already doing, but to look for innovative projects that were scalable and transferable. And we were admittedly cutting edge. Now the challenge will be putting something practical into application. The foundation grant will cover our costs as a city for moving forward, but this is still dependent on a lot more work and on private sector partners, and it would not have even been feasible just a few years ago. Technology had to reach a point, and admittedly we're on the edge, but technology had to reach a point where we can move forward. But always glad to be recognized for innovations in government, and very happy to be joining fellow mayors, most of whom I know and work with through the U.S. Conference of Mayors.
Here on the Joint Processing Center, it was suggested in the report that Harris County might want voters to approve a bond package going forward for this. If the voters again say no to such a bond package, what happens to this project? Does it stall out again?
It's really, I can't answer that for Harris County. They're going to have to decide what resources they have available. It is not the package that was put forward in 2007. It has no jail facility. This is really about more efficient processing intake of prisoners. And the city of Houston would be a full partner in it, so we have something at stake as well. I believe that they're doing the right thing from a public policy standpoint to go back and say to the voters, We just want to make sure you know what we're doing and approve it, even if they technically don't have to. I think, particularly considering how city and metro and the city and the school district bonds did last year, that the voters are in a better mood and with the proper explanation, because there's so much to like about a new processing center that it will move forward. I do appreciate that Harris County has stepped up and re-engaged with us on this. It will benefit Harris County. It will benefit the city of Houston. It is actually, in some ways, it's more of a benefit to the city of Houston, but in another way, it just makes sense, because 55% of the prisoners that we arrest are ultimately going to end up in the county jail. It's more humane to take them directly there. We don't have to keep handling them. They can be booked in, and there's much more stability. So this allows us to gradually shift an appropriate responsibility to the county in a way that is seamless and doesn't cause any disruptions on either side.
You mentioned that 55%. I wonder what you think is an equitable cost share on the building itself, given that the city would save $30 million a year, but the city is also...
The city's not going to save entirely $30 million a year. That's what we're spending today. We still have to decide, from our standpoint, what we do with those who are strictly municipal prisoners that would never be transferred to the county jail. Among the alternatives is to use our alternate jail facility at McAllen. Councilmember Bradford suggested that we consider privatizing that function, and we will, of course, do our due diligence on that. But another decision might be that we rethink putting people in jail for certain municipal offenses. We have already started down that path with the sobering center. If we can take 20% of the total population out, that's a significant amount. That may be 40% of our municipal prisoners right there that aren't even going to be coming in. And so we're exploring all our options.
On the equitable question, though, even if it's not 30, obviously the city would save a substantial amount of money with the existence of this facility. But then, on the other hand, you have no obligation to house roughly half the people you're housing today. So, given all of those factors, what do you think is an equitable amount for the city to contribute to the facility?
We have to make sure we're talking about two different things. We will work out an appropriate amount for the facility itself, the processing facility itself, where we put our capital contribution in, because we expect to be using that facility for our prisoners. Then we will also work out through a long-term contract a per capita arrangement for any of our prisoners that actually do need to be held in the county jail. So it's the capital cost of building a facility, and then there's a daily per capita.
And in the best case scenario, can you imagine when this impact would get optimized?
Well, no. I'll tell you what the timeline is. Harris County's already approved the contract. We're going to take the council next week what we hope will be our 50-50 share. And we are not in any way signaling that we believe we're going to be paying 50% of this processing center. But we are signaling that we want to be at the table as a partner from the beginning. That's going to go to council next week. There'll be some months for them to provide a plan, do the due diligence, engage the stakeholders. We want to have this to council by the time we get to our budget process in June. We usually adopt the budget in June and the capital projects plan June or July, so we're going to be coming back by then with a hard number for what our capital costs would be. And then it's going to take some time for construction.
Mayor, on the savings that the city is looking at over a period of time, by making this move for the processing center and having our prisoners transferred to the county, could the money that you're saving over a period of time be put down on a new municipal court complex?
we are, at the same time, we are trying to get out of the jail business, and we've been trying to get out of the jail business for a long time. At the same time, we have been frustrated that we're holding prisoners that aren't ours. They really do belong in the county jail. We've been moving along that line. We have also recognized that we need a new police complex. Reaser Street does not only house the jail, it houses a significant police presence, and it houses the municipal courts, all of which are inadequate and need to be replaced. We began last year moving toward a new design for that site that incorporates both municipal courts and a new police headquarters. We would vacate the Travis building and relocate back to a central site once we get it up and functioning. Current plans do not call for a jail facility, holding cells of course, but no jail facility at Reaser. So yes, we are moving in that direction as aggressively as we can.
The long-term per capita contract you're talking about, that's referring to the municipal prisoners, the Class C, not the 55% that could.
Right. Those are their prisoners. We, for whatever reason, early on, we started holding them short-term, and then as the county experienced a critical jail overcrowding issues, and remember, for a period, the county was sending prisoners to Louisiana and other states, far west Texas and so forth. They literally couldn't hold all their prisoners, and so there was a bottleneck. And I will confess, there was a time when I threatened to call the sheriff and just say, I'm going to take these prisoners over and chain them out in front of your gate because you're not letting me release them from my jail. But it was a matter of, he just didn't have the capacity. Things are completely different now. He has space in the county jail. We have taken steps to decrease our own prisoner headcount, and there's a recognition that finally, at all levels of government, that Harris County should not be, the Harris County Jail should not be the largest provider of mental health services in the state of Texas. And if we take our drunken disorderly out of the stream and we work together on an alternative for mental health, we can significantly reduce the headcount again. And you're even seeing a discussion about that at the state legislature. So there's a lot of great things happening, but from a practical standpoint, we still have to make progress on getting out of the jail business, and the stars seem to be aligning. We're all working together because outside factors that had inhibited our ability to move forward have been alleviated.
Mayor, on a separate note, back to the police shooting, the union had said that, if Officer Fikes didn't have his partner there, he probably wouldn't have survived, and was pointing out that this is examples of what they've been pushing for years, which is having two men per patrol as standard instead of just whenever it's possible. What's your point of view on that?
Two-man patrols are appropriate in certain circumstances, and we have always said that, and the command staff supports that. Nighttime patrols, particularly, we like to have 2 officers in every car. And clearly, the command staff made the right decision. Yes, I probably, that officer, considering the circumstances, that officer would not have survived, in my opinion, had he not had a partner there. That is a command strategic decision that we make, and was made appropriate. But not every patrol needs 2 officers in the car.
So there's no, is a nighttime 2 per car, is that some sort of specific command, or is that also dependent upon,
Those are all command decisions made within the police department. They analyze both their staffing, but also what the threat level is and how best to handle those patrols. And we leave that strictly to the police department, but I assure you that when they think it is appropriate, there are 2-person patrols.
Mayor, Bill White had a problem with the county when it came to transferring the responsibility of the jail to the make sure that our police officers that work in the jail would be acceptable to the sheriff's department. So eventually there was agreement between the sheriff's department and Houston that our police officers, whether they be civilian or otherwise, will become sheriff's officers. And once that agreement was made, then we felt that they could go forward with both parties. So, now, is that going to be the same circumstance here when it comes to the personnel?
I'm not aware of any agreement that Mayor White achieved at all with Harris County on the jail, so I can't speak to that. We have a number of civilian jailers, and there is concern on the part of those jailers what their job prospects will be. I will say first that this is not going to happen overnight. There's a lot of steps still to take. We have been aware of this for a long time. I have had discussions with HOPE, which is our employee union that represents those jailers, and we would do everything possible to make sure that a pool of trained jailers was made available to Harris County to pick from, and that Harris County would give them due consideration. That is absolutely going to be a part of the discussions.
Mayor,
But I don't know what the level of staffing is over at Harris County. Most of, I believe what the sheriff has are deputies who are assigned to the jail, so I don't know what level of civilianization he has over there.
I was just going to ask, yesterday, obviously, they came out and studied this at the photograph on the parking lot. And given that the city just passed the thing supporting the next Super Bowl and all that stuff, even though it's a county facility, what are your thoughts about what should happen?
5 men will make the decision on what happens to the Astrodome. I have no role in it. I personally think it's an iconic building, and there ought to be something that we could do with it. Whether that is turning it into a large casino or a hotel or any number of things that have been discussed. But 5 men will make those decisions, so it doesn't really matter what my personal view is.
You obviously have